Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Christopher.
Good afternoon. Hello there.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just working out this camera here. I'm good. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon. Anastasia, how you feeling? Feeling good about your listing presentation?
Sure.
You're going to do just fine. We're a safe space, right? It's better to test out and script in front of your peers who are nothing but supportive of you so that when you get it in person, you feel confident you're ready to rock and roll. All right. Well, if you're ready, we'll all mute ourselves. As per what we usually do, guys, is I'll keep some notes in the chat of like great things to highlight that Anastasia chats on, because it's also for Anastasia to be able to look back on. And then we'll let her run through. And at the end, we'll be able to regroup and talk and kind of collaborate on it. And then we'll go into the second half of the class. So I'm going to mute myself. Anastasia, you know how to share your screen?
I believe so.
Perfect. All right, have at it.
Okay, give me one sec here. Actually, no. Sorry, my dog wants to play with me, of course.
That's okay. The dog might help you get the listing.
Right. Can you? It's gonna be funny, but I was just talking with my husband the other day, and we were like, "Can we write off our dog as a marketing expense if I'm gonna use him?"
Of your marketing, I think people love that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. We can see your screen, so you are all
okay,
set.
good. Okay, good. Okay, so this is a for sale by owner presentation. This unit is currently listed by the owner, and I was able to get a listing presentation basically in a meeting to go over some things that to go over the CMA, of course, and some things that I think may benefit the seller with getting it sold. Okay, so hi, Mr. Seller. I appreciate the chance to meet with you and talk about some great resources that I have access to that might help get your property sold as soon as possible. So I put together a presentation that is gonna go over some of the comparative market analysis. That basically means we're going to look at your current competition and also at some of the properties that have recently sold in the market around your property. So I would like to start with just talking about your unit. This information, I pulled it from the previous MLS listing, and it's just basic information about the property type and tax amount and things like that. We will have to update this once we get to signing the listing agreement. Oops, sorry. These are your comps. When I say comps, it means that the properties that you see here are the most comparable to yours in terms of size, in terms of appliances, finishes, and all of that. Because when we look at your competition, we don't want to look at just random houses that do not compare to your property. We want to look at the ones that are the most similar. Also, when we look at your competition, we want to look at sold properties. You'll see them here. I also added one contingent property. We don't know, for contingents, we don't know yet for how much it will be sold, but it's also good to take a look at them, because this way we can see how long they've been on the market and what was the price point that they were advertised at. And we also have some active listings. Active listings are your competition. It means that we want to know what it is in the market that you are competing with, and we want to make sure that your property stands out. And we're going to get to that a little bit later. So what I really like, I like the second screen where we see the properties on the map. This little white star is your property, and these numbers all around the map are your comps. So I don't want to go too much into details about comps, but I would usually pull up every comparable property and just quickly look over some details here, compare the tax amount, compare the HOA dues, because HOA dues is something that usually affects the value of the property a lot. And what I like to point out here is the original list price and the sold price, and explain why the percentage that it was sold for of the listing price is really important. And usually say that when working with a buyer, the buyer's broker will as well do a comparative market analysis before they submit an offer on the property. And it's important to know this percentage because that is what the market is showing us. The properties in this area sell for about 97% of the asking price. So let's say if you get an offer for 97% of your asking price, you of course can counteroffer or reject the offer. It's up to you, but this is what the market is showing, and it's important to know it. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time just talking about the comps here, so I'll just go to the next, to the next slide. Okay, so this slide, Mr. Seller shows us how many days each property was on the market before, or is on the market before it gets sold. So you can see that this property spent just 2 days on the market. Here you can see 20 days, and some over here on this right side, 127 days. It is important to understand the trends here because it usually gives us a good understanding about what will be the final selling price and about whether we are in the buyer's or seller's market right now. Also, if we see a property that's been sitting on the market for too long and 127 days is more than the average of 30 to 60 days, it might indicate that the price they're asking is too high. So that's just something to keep in mind and look back at when we talk about the price and we talk about our pricing strategy. Okay, this slide here actually shows us more information about the pricing. We can see average price point for all the listings, for all comparable listings. If we just select the sold, so we can see an average price of what the comps I selected sold for, and also some general information about I'll say average information about the square footage, days on the market. So as I told you, about 30 days was average. That's what we see right here on this slide. If we look at our current active listings, we can see that the current days on the market is 64 days. So this can be because of several things. First of all, we all know that we are in an unpredictable market situation right now that is called COVID-19. Second of all, we are in the winter season, which is usually a slower point in terms of the market days. However, this is still not something out of normal. So don't be too scared by this. This is just something for you to look at, understand, and expect. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so here, Coldwell Banker, according to the 2019 numbers, closed the most units in Chicagoland than any other brokerage. And this, I think, is very important. But what we found is that many of our clients do not care about this number. They are more interested in how we do this. And that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So when listing with me and Coldwell Banker, we are going to make sure that we offer you the most exclusive property marketing that is available in the industry. And this includes several marketing pieces that will highlight your property in the best way possible. Let me touch on some of them in greater details. So first of all, everything starts with the photography. We want to make sure that we highlight your property in the best way possible. And right now, I know you have listed it on Zillow and you took photos with your phone. And these are nice photos. However, for people looking online, and right now it's 100% people looking online, and some are even doing virtual tours and submitting offers on properties without being physically in the property. And it's really important that we translate the right image of your property to potential buyers. That's why we want to do professional photos. You'll get 16 of those, including virtual twilight photography, that will make your property look really outstanding, and it will help catch your potential buyers' eyes. With that being said, we're going to use the photos that our professional photographer takes to print some marketing materials that will include property brochures. Those will be beautifully made, and they will highlight the best details about your property, everything a potential buyer needs to remember. And keep in mind that after they visit your property for an open house that I will host, I will make sure they have this brochure with them when they leave. So when they're sitting with their broker, talking about what properties they should make an offer on, they will remember your property. They'll be able to reference this brochure, look at photos, and imagine themselves living in your place. That will definitely help your property stand out among the competition. The next thing I really like about our marketing plan is the single property website. There are so many listings posted online on different websites: Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Redfin, you name it. Single property website is something we will be advertising, and it's something a potential buyer goes to and sees only your property. This dedicated website will highlight the best features of your house and will give all the additional information that might not be able to fit in the limits that other websites provide. My most important piece about our marketing plan is, of course, targeted online advertising. We're gonna run online social media ads targeted to buyers who are most likely to buy your property. And when I speak about those buyers, what I mean is Coldwell Banker actually has a really cool tool that is called CBX Buyer Locator. And you can see it right here. We collect a lot of data, a lot of touch points about people living in different zip codes. And by gathering all this information, looking at the websites they visit and their favorite TV programs, favorite radio programs, how many of real estate searches they make per month, we can make a good estimate of who is the most likely buyer for your property. And this is huge because this way we can spend our advertising money really wisely and target people living in zip codes that are most likely to buy your property. And you can see that when I hover over different points here, you can see that the information on the left changes and the likelihood of buyer match also changes. And I'm going to tell you that for targeted online advertising, we're going to use our proprietary software that will allow us to actually target those zip codes. And of course, something that Coldwell Banker offers exclusively is TV and online promotion. So when I speak about TV, Coldwell Banker owns a TV show. It's called At Home in Chicagoland. It airs every Sunday at 11 a.m. and your house is gonna be on that show. Why is this so important? It's because we are overwhelmed with online advertising, but there's no other brokerage that does a TV show. Imagine having your Sunday brunch with your family, just watching TV casually, and here it goes. That program starts and you see your house on TV, and so we'll see so many people around Chicago, Wisconsin. And by the way, the video that we're gonna produce for the TV program, we will also upload it to YouTube, and you can use it to promote your property on your social media, share it with your friends, and target even more potential buyers. One more thing is mobile brochures. These are really cool because remember the times when we had to actually have paper brochures, and they will be in a little box, and then after it snows or rains, all the paper will be just looking nasty, and you don't want to reach into the box to grab a piece of information about this property. So we eliminate this by providing mobile brochures, and it is really easy. A potential buyer walking down the street sees the sign, and all they have to do is just text a little message to a phone number that will be on the sign, and they will get all details, including photos and additional information about your property. And what is actually really cool is that I will get their details as well, me being a listing agent. And I will be able to follow up with these buyers right away and ask whether they want to come and see the property. So we are not losing anyone's attention as we go. We are able to capture it right away. Okay, and another great eye-catching element of our marketing plan is actually advertisement in View Magazine. View Magazine is a subscription-based magazine that goes to about 200,000 people around Chicagoland, and we are gonna include an ad about your property in the magazine. It will give your house additional eyeballs. Okay, and the last piece that I want to touch on is internet marketing advantage. I already talked about advertising on social media, but what else we will do is we will actually get your listing to all the websites available out there, including the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. So it's not only going to be on Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor. It's going to be on all these websites, on Coldwell Banker homes.com, and other unique listings that actually Coldwell Banker pays to be on these websites. Okay, so now I want to talk about the approximate market value. I just want to circle back to talking about your property and considering all the comps information that we looked at previously and the marketing advantage that we can that I offer for your property. I see that its approximate market value is in between 175 to 180 to 500, and what is really cool is that I'm able to show you the estimated net seller proceeds. It means this is how much money, of course it's estimated, but this is about how much money you will have in your pocket after we sell your house. And this is available through our title company, Burnett Title. By partnering with me and choosing Burnett Title as your title company, we're actually able to save you money on that title part of the sale and also provide you with an estimated net seller proceeds. You can see all details are listed here: title and closing costs, third-party fees. Of course, this might change. It depends on many things, including your attorney, whether you have a property attorney you want to work with, or whether you will be working with one of our attorneys that I usually work with. And it also depends on whether the buyers might ask any closing cost, credit, and things like that. But this gives you a good estimate of where you will land at once you close. So, considering all the information that I gave you and considering the advantage I showed you of listing with me, are you ready to sign the listing agreements? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now.
Great job, everybody! Give a round of applause to Anastasia.
Good job.
Excellent.
Excellent, excellent.
My throat is so dry.
You did a great job. You could probably take a look at the chat now and see some of my running notes. But I'd love to hear from your peers, Elizabeth, Christopher, Khadidra. Like, what did you guys think? What did you love about the presentation? Did anything kind of spark a note to you guys? So feel free to I see you're unmuted, Christopher. So if you want to start, go for it.
All right, thank you. Well, first and foremost, excellent presentation. I think that in today's market,